What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Jasper Sunshine, Mr. Sunshine Baby, he's in a lot of trouble. If the new terms of service of YouTube are anything of what we think they are, and yes, it's a joke. I don't want to be mean to Jasper. He's not a terrible guy. He's got a reputation. I've got a reputation. In fact, a lot of people might be saying I'm in trouble. Well, old Fringe can adapt, but bear with me because I want to show something to you guys today. I want to talk about something that we've been talking about for a while on this channel. If you watched previously, just after the election, Real Talks Politics was removed from YouTube. It was ripped off of the airwaves, courtesy of the CBC. In fact, they had to change the name of an article in which they were gloating about having that channel removed by basically jealousy, by saying that they didn't represent anything besides clickbaity type stories. Now I know engagement farming, I think, was the real word they used. Please don't quote me verbatim. But the CBC gloating essentially, and it was because that Real Talks Politics got the most views out of any other platform during the federal election. What I noticed, and a bunch of other YouTubers had noticed, is that right around the time that happened, almost to the day, and I kept saying, is it maybe a coincidence, a lot of channels' viewerships were cut in half. Now, there's an answer to that, and we found the answer today. I've crunched the numbers, done the math, and this channel's nailing it on the head. YouTube is actively changing rules without informing its creators about terms of service. So any other content creators like Mark Nixon, Moose on the Loose, any of those guys who watch this channel, who know what's happening with views, Northern Perspective, any of those guys, shout out to them, by the way. They're putting out some good stuff lately. I know we've had our differences in the past, but they're not terrible people. I do gotta throw some shade from time to time when it's due. Let's talk about what's happening on YouTube. I want to highlight this channel called Gothic Therapy. And they've only got 15,000 subscribers. Now, that's pretty admirable for channels, as channels go. I think we can do better than that. I think that if you enjoy this video, if you enjoy what I have to say, other YouTubers who get the information in this video should definitely do a follow-up video. Send your subscribers over to Gothic Therapy. Give them some love. Tell them the Fringe sent you. Because you can even see down here, Nick Nimmin, 52,000 views 5 days ago. Oh, you can't see it because of the way I've got this page set up. Nick Nimmin's channel has 52,000 views on the same subject from 5 days ago. It says what you should know about YouTube's monetization update. Now, YouTube has made a lot of monetization changes in terms of how they're monetizing videos, meaning you must be a real person right now. Apparently, they are not going to promote any channels that use an AI voice any longer, which I think is a good thing. I'm not going to dismiss that. I think that content creators do put a lot of time and energy into their videos. AI can be done from a laptop. You can run 10 channels at once, making content that's script written by AI, dictated by AI, the videos done by AI, really no work involved. Why should those people get paid for nothing? AI slavery is a terrible thing. We must save the AI slaves. Emancipate them. But what we have here is this video. This is where I joked and said Jasper Sunshine's in trouble. Clickbait is dead. YouTube has changed. Engage or, face the consequences. Now, again, Jasper, even if you're watching this video, it's just a joke, okay? We all know the stereotype that goes out around certain YouTubers. So a tip of the hat to Jasper. Never change, man. Well, do change, because otherwise you're in trouble too. And this would explain where people's views have gone. So let's take a minute to go over this. Please go over to Gothic Therapy again. I'll put the video link in the description. Subscribe and tell them the Fringe sent you, because we're going to watch the video. I would prefer they don't sue me for, or not sue me. They don't flag me for copyright. Hopefully giving them some eyeballs on their work will help. But let's take a look at what they've noticed about YouTube. We're going to go through this step by step. Now, again, for fair use reasons, I do have to pause from time to time to give my input, so please bear with me. Let's go.
Something is wrong on YouTube. Sure, people have said that before, and they'll say it again. But lately, channels across the platform are reporting the same thing. A sudden, brutal drop in views, subs, and engagement. Maybe it made you wonder if you were out of touch. Maybe you thought you did something wrong and YouTube was punishing you. But dig deeper and you'll find the truth. It was never you. YouTube changed the rules and hoped no one would notice. The era of clickbait is over. Welcome to the new YouTube. Hello, and what is going on, everybody? It is Master of the TDS, and I am joined by my lovely wife,
Riding Raven, and welcome back to Gothic Therapy.
And if you've been feeling like YouTube just stopped working, you're not crazy. You're caught in a new system YouTube decided you didn't need to know about.
So smash that like button like it's still...
So again, I just want to get, is anybody else getting like early Northern Perspective vibes from this channel? The avatars, it's what essentially they're talking about is the same thing we've been talking about on this channel. Other channels have brought it up as well. At least in private, some people have messaged me and said, Fringe, do you know anything about the views that are going on? I've seen massive channels that cover politics. I haven't really been watching other channels to see where their numbers are going. But they said, look, I'm losing all my views. There's people on this channel that tell me all the time, I get unsubscribed at random. I'm not being notified when videos drop. There's a very easy solution to all of this. Here we go.
means something. Because if you don't, this video will get buried like a corpse in YouTube's backyard when the neighbors aren't looking.
At first, we thought it was just a fluke. Views dropping, comments slowing, and shorts dying on impact.
But it wasn't just us. Small creators, mid-sized channels, even some of the big ones were all reporting the same thing.
The algorithm wasn't just misfiring, it felt different. And since it wasn't election season, some kind of mischief had to be afoot.
So, we did what any sane caffeinated couple with questionable sleep hygiene and schedules would do.
Recognize we're the problem and switch to decaf?
No, we reached out to friends. Because if we're not sleeping, why should they be allowed to?
That was not my idea, just for the record. But we asked for data, and our friends delivered.
Even at 4 a.m.
Bad kitty.
Meow.
We didn't want to jump to conclusions. YouTube's algorithm is about as reliable as a blind lawyer with anger issues.
I'm a really good lawyer.
So we pulled real data from 5 channels.
Channels of different genres, different sizes, and different upload schedules. It didn't matter. The numbers lined up like suspects in a police lineup.
Except every suspect was guilty. Top 20 videos in the past 90 days across 5 channels showed the same pattern and the same result.
There was a 96 to 100% correlation between total views and engaged views. If a viewer didn't actively engage with a video, their view no longer counted at all.
YouTube changed what a view is. It was rolled out quietly, framed as a Shorts update, but it's way bigger than Shorts.
So, what is an engaged view? Well, it's the kind of view that YouTube actually counts now. Not the number you see on the public counter, but the number they track behind the scenes.
Basically, if someone clicks your video, watches most of it, and either likes, comments, or subscribes, congrats! That's an engaged view. Anything less might as well not exist.
And here's the twist. Based on the data, anything less than an engaged view actually does not exist anymore. Just a ghost in the algorithm.
That's why our numbers show a near perfect match between engaged views and total views, because they're now the same thing.
YouTube.
So one thing I want to preface while we're getting onto this is that I have looked in my YouTube analytics. I've looked at the engaged views versus the actual views, and what they're stating in here seems to line up. Now, that could be coincidence, so I don't want to come off as that I am saying this is 100% fact, but it's very hard to argue with the numbers that they're presenting versus what I am personally seeing on my own YouTube studio. Now, what's funny about this is that whenever a YouTube creator like myself puts out a video, the first thing you can do is go to your analytics and see how your video is faring in terms of views. Your views can show you views per minute. Usually it's on a bar scale, and it'll show you your lines going up in a bar graph. What'll happen as your video drops is that the more people seeing it, obviously, the higher the lines will go, and then they kind of cascade off. And then eventually, once the video starts to lose its interest, it runs its course, those lines will start to cascade down almost like a big wave. Well, there are times where I've watched those lines going up and down ever since the election, wondering what is happening with the algorithm recommending YouTube videos, because everybody always tells me, look, I I watch your videos. I've come in and I'm unsubscribed and I don't realize that I'm no longer on the channel. I have to resub multiple times a week. A lot of that has to do with YouTube thinking that these are bot accounts. Maybe there wasn't enough engagement. Maybe people watching videos are simply just turning on YouTube and letting it coast. There's a number of reasons, but one thing I've noticed when that line is moving is sometimes as that line is starting to tick up, it will slowly tick back down, which is exactly what these guys are suggesting, is that YouTube defaulted to count it as a view, but then decided, well, there was no engagement, so we're just going to pull that view back. And the lines often skew and come back a little bit as this cascading wave is forming on the channel.
Change the rules. You don't get credit for being seen, only interacted with. It used to be engagement boosted a video, and now no engagement, no view. End of story. Back in 2024, YouTube said they wanted to kill clickbait. And well, they did. They just covered up the murder, buried the body, and hoped no one would find it.
Until we dug it up. The corpse and the data doesn't lie. We tested this across 5 different YouTube channels from 15,000 subs to over 1 million.
We analyzed the top 20 videos on each. That's a total of 100 videos, which meant a lot of data and a lot of math.
That was the least fun part of this entire process.
Definitely. But the numbers were absolutely brutal. One video had over 100,000 public views and 98,900 engaged views. That's a 99% match.
Another had 8,200 total views and 8,050 engaged.
So, again, I'm not going to show the entire video, but you kind of get the gist of what they're explaining here. And again, as you look at this graph, I've looked at my analytics and followed the recipe to what they're showing here. And it does potentially line up. I'd be very interested if other content creators that cover politics on this channel are noticing the same thing. Because as we point the finger at YouTube and say, well, this is censorship. They don't want politics getting out. This is a ghost in the machine. It's Mark Carney and his evil liberals turning around to say, oh, don't let their videos get out. Don't let them talk nasty about the government. It turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that this is all because of some switch in the algorithm. It's a switch of YouTube not wanting to give credit where credit is due. For whatever reasons they may have, they're constantly updating their terms of service, but it would have helped had they have informed YouTube creators, because again, there's times I've reached out to their customer service. I know other creators have as well, saying, my views have dropped off, something's going on, and they just say, nah, everything's working fine. There's nothing to worry about. I would encourage anybody watching this video, if you know a content creator whose videos or whose views have taken a dip in the last month, reach out to them, send them a link to this video, let them know. Of course, what I'm asking you to do here is engage. Engagement is what's going to drive this channel moving forward. So on that note, again, I will leave a link to the rest of this video if you're so inclined to watch the rest of it. Again, huge shout out to Gothic Therapy. Please go watch the rest of their video. Let them make some AdSense. Engage with their video by subscribing to their channel. Let them know the Fringe sent you. I only recommend channels I think are worth following or worth giving that like to. I think what they've done here is God's work, because I know a lot of YouTubers were starting to get worried, asking what's going on, and no answers were being given to us. So if this in fact is the problem that people are seeing with their videos, and it has nothing to do with government censorship, well, this is easily solvable. I'll solve part of that problem right now. That if you've enjoyed this video, I ask that you leave a comment down below if you've noticed similar things on other channels. Let me know if you think that this documentation is accurate. Tell me if you believe that this isn't censorship and maybe it's just YouTube having bad policy to not inform their creators of changes within their terms of service. Let me know how often you engage on the channel. Give a thumbs up, a comment, hit your bell for all notifications so that you never miss a beat when videos drop. Again, I'll never beg, but if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. Join me live on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show. And I'm joined, God, I'm tongue-tied already, joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe as we go back and forth throughout the entire YouTube community of this channel, which is the greatest community on earth, by the way, to hear what you guys have to say outside of making these videos. I always look forward to chatting with you guys each and every Friday night. I most importantly look forward to chatting with you guys this Friday night, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.